Okay, here we're tying a Clouser Minnow, and the materials we're using are bucktail and white and chartreuse. For this particular fly, you can use it in a variety of colors. We're going to be using lead eyes. You're going to need a hackle stacker for this fly, and the flash is crinkle mirror flash. You can also use crystal flash. So first step is we're going to get a little thread base here, and we are going to tie our eyes on. So you want to leave a little bit of room between your thread and the eye of the hook, and get those eyes. Hold them over, and we're just going to figure eight them on, so alternate which way the wraps are going. And make sure they're secured down. Slide them back just a tad. Okay, and then we're going to wrap to where the hook starts to bend. And we're going to take and cut a piece of white bucktail and put it in our hackle stacker. Okay, so once we get the ends somewhat even, we're going to measure this out, and you want it to extend about maybe 2 inches out, maybe 1.5 inches, and we're going to start to wrap that down. Start real loose at first so it doesn't flare out, and then you can tighten them up as you wrap forward. Make sure you keep that bucktail on top and don't let it spin on you. Go to the bottom side of the hook. Once we get to the eyes, we're going to come underneath over to the other side. We're going to pull this bucktail over, tie it down. And here you can cinch your wraps down nice and tight. Trim that off. And then this is where it's nice to have a true rotary vise, because we just spin the fly and we're ready to tie on the bottom. So you can take about anywhere from 5 to 10 strands of this crinkle mirror flash, kind of depending on how flashy you want it to be. If you want to double it over like I'm going to do and secure it in, take a few less. So what we're going to do is about halfway, make sure these fibers here are extending at least out to the end of the tail, and we're going to tie it down right in the middle. And then we're going to pull this back and secure it down. That way your flash is nice and secured down. You won't have to worry about it pulling out. next step is we're going to trim off a piece of chartreuse bucktail. About the same size as the white bucktail, and get it in the hackle stacker here. And then once the ends are somewhat even, I'm going to lay this over and measure it out about the same length as the white. Oops. Hold it in and tie it down once again real loose, and then kind of tighten them up to secure it in. Trim off this excess here. And we're going to spin it over. Just make sure all our materials are secured in there. Final step is we're going to whip finish. Trim our thread, and that's your Clouser Minnow.